Hello, and welcome to your New York Met Report on E.TV. This episode I'd like to dedicate as a letter from me to all the Met fans out there. Now let's briefly talk about this past season. You guys were at 78 and 83, which was fourth best in the NL East. Now you've recently fired your general manager, Omar Minaya, and your manager, Jerry Manuel. But let's talk about some of the things that are really going on that I feel are wrong with this team. Let's talk about two players in particular, David Wright and Jose Reyes. When they came up through the organization and were brought up as young rookies and they provided an early spark, big things were thought of these players. But recently, throughout the past couple seasons, David Wright, with his inconsistent play, his power slipping, and the simple fact of this past season, he had over 150 strikeouts, has to be alarming. And Jose Reyes, as great as a player as he is, as good of a glove that he has, sometimes he's just not fundamentally sound out there. And he's always dinged up or he's always hurt. I mean, when he's playing, he does give you the quickness, he does give you the speed, he does give you the Jose. But how many times does that really happen? The guy is always hurt. But you know what? Let's talk about something more important, and that's leadership. Championship teams are always defined by the leaders that lead them through the passage. Now, when you think of the Super Bowl champion New Orleans Saints, you think of Drew Brees. When you think of the NBA champion LA Lakers, you think of Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry, Met fans, but when you think of the New York Yankees, you think of Derek Jeter's leadership. When you think of the Mets, if you guys are really trying to win a World Series title, who are the leaders on your team? Who are the guys that you feel that when times go rough are the guys that are going to really keep the team together? And they're not just, the leaders named by the media because they have the best personality, the best looks, or they're the friendliest guy. You need guys that are really going to get it done when the times are really rough. I mean, I think one major issue that the Mets need to get over is that they never nip it in the bud. And what I mean by that is they never either get rid of dead wood or rectify situations when they need to be rectified. And my prime example is Oliver Perez. How is management going to tell him, hey, why don't you go down to the minor league, work out some things, and we'll call you back when we feel like you're ready? And what does he do? He tells them, nah, I'm good. I'll stay up in the majors. I'll be a cancer to the whole locker room throughout the whole entire season, not even play, and collect $12 million. Stuff like that doesn't happen on championship winning teams. Stuff like that doesn't happen when you want to win. Now, I mean, you have other things like Daniel Murphy. When he came up, Daniel Murphy could hit. Didn't hit. They say he could play an okay outfield. Played a horrible outfield. They said, we're going to switch him to first base. He could field. Couldn't catch a cold. And they kept him on the roster. And I don't want to say by luck, but maybe more so for Ike Davis, Daniel Murphy's injury basically paved the way for Ike Davis's emergence. But my point is this. Championship teams don't acquire players that can't play anymore. Championship teams don't keep players that can't play anymore. Example, Joe Montana and the 49ers and Shaquille O'Neal for the LA Lakers. Championship teams do not, abide by this emotional attachment. Look at the Yankees and Bernie Williams. I mean, if you really want to be a championship team, you got to get players that can play now. And if the players can't play now and you feel that they're past their prime, then have them be the leaders on a young team. Because every young player needs a guy that's been through it all and seen it all to know how to act and how to be. But you can't bring in an old school cat to bring in his old school moves and think it's still going to work when he's past his prime. Mets, hopefully the new GM and the new manager will both have a fresh new outlook, fresh new ideas, and hopefully next season you have a brand new fresh team. That's it for this report on E.TV. You know the place to be. Peace.